I went as far as asking, are you a virgin? Some of them, they'll lie or become defensive but I was trying to find out, okay, has this person been abused? So you now expect them to take on 100% of what made you tired.
You basically have an agreement with them, have a job description.
Yes,
that means you can't just even use them just anyhow.
You can't use them
too have to give them their respect.
You can't
live like that.
Your purpose is not entirely just to nurture children, just to reproduce.
Hello and welcome. It's the E.B.U.N show, and today we're discussing domestic workers, your maids and nannies. Does the modern day woman need help? Where did this concept of calling this set of workers necessary evil come from? If they're evil and necessary, it means we're in a fix, are we not? And why is it that we can't even sell this idea of maids to our mothers? Majority of them feel you don't need it. This and more we'll be discussing on this episode of the E.B.U.N show. With me today is Wumi Fagbeyiro. Dr. Wumi Fagbeyiro. She's an educational consultant and the convener of Reformed Educators Academy, married and a mother of two. Stay tuned. Thank you for coming on the E.B.U.N show.
Thank you for having
Dear
me.
doctor, are you going for professorship?
Let's see.
Salute. Okay, let's talk about helps.
Yeah.
Maids, nannies, domestic workers. We've often described them as necessary evil. Then I ask myself, we keep saying they, but these are human beings like us.
Yes, sure.
Let's start from the modern day woman. Can we do without helps?
Can we do without help?
Yes, like I will do it myself.
Can I answer for everybody? No, but depending on what you do, for me, I think you need to be able to balance yourself well, and part of that balance would be to define in what areas you need help. For instance, if you are stay-at-home work, because a lot of people misconstrue the fact that if you're working from home, you should be able to do things.
You have time.
You have time.
Mm-mm.
Whereas the reality is that is not the truth. In fact, most stay-at-home moms, they never clock out because they are working on their business or on their work. Maybe they're working remotely, and then they still have to do house chores and all that. So for me, in our setting here, I would say you can't really do without help, except you want to stress yourself, and nobody will applaud you for stressing yourself. So
this culture tries to applaud you for strong woman, macho woman. She does this. The woman, you're strong.
My own definition of a strong woman is being able to know what you can do and ask for help where you need it.
When necessary,
because it doesn't make any sense for you to burn out doing other things, and then the seemingly little things like having time for your family, watching your children, doing some other things, fulfilling your purpose and all that. You are stressed out from the daily routine, sweeping.
Is the African purpose for a woman not nurture your children?
No.
The way she said no.
No. I really
no now.
No.
Come on, you and
then at the end of the day, can you hear that? As in, okay, so when I was doing my degree courses now, I had to keep traveling here and there, and even where in the academic community, I have people talk to me and tell me, oh, Daju, from where like you're coming to do degree courses.
Which one is more important, your home or
so
this
I had
course?
a lot of you think even in academic environments where I'm supposed to be encouraged by other females, I'll be hearing comments like, you left your husband alone, you left your children alone to come and do course in another state. But then we need to learn from our parents' mistakes, so to speak, or we learn from their lives. So you have a lot of the older generations, the moms, where they gave their all to their children, they gave their life, they gave everything to them. And even those that were opportunity to maybe work in the civil service and all that. And at the end of the day, they retire and then think because they gave their all to their children should be able to give them back in their later part of years. Forgetting that, so now they don't really have any value. They are retired. They don't really have.
There's nothing
much
else
value.
Yes.
So they are just like waiting for death, so to speak.
Depending on children and just waiting for the end.
You know, they now feel hurt when their children are carrying on with their lives and really do not have that much time to give to them because they've expected that I've given my youth to them. They will take care of me in my old age. So I think this is some of the mistakes that some mothers make in the older generation, where they neglect themselves and give their all, and then at the end of the day, when the children are grown, there's no time for them to do anything. They are kind of
so lost. You are telling the modern woman that
you can't live like that. Your purpose is not entirely just to nurture children, just to reproduce, and then I don't believe that is all God asks for us.
All that there is for us as women.
We are talking about helps here.
Yes, help.
In order to achieve all this, now
we need them.
We need help. Now, help could come in the form of your relation coming to stay with you and helping you out with house. Because I don't believe that all you need to do as a woman is to stay in the home, make sure your home is clean.
So let's talk about paid helps.
Okay.
Because the truth is, you won't find a family member who will stay with you. Do you understand?
Yes.
They have things to do. So there are this set of people who do it professionally.
Yes.
You've had some.
Yes.
And we've had gist over there. I've had one too, and I had issues. The first one, you know what she do for me? The second day, I asked her to pick bills, and she wasn't ready. She just started crying. And I went to her room. Till I finished crying. So I was asking, what do you? Because she doesn't understand my own dialect, so we had to use pidgin. She didn't say anything, no. She locked herself in the room until I finished cooking the beans and she ate.
Wow.
I just got the agents. Come out. I'm sure you've had some experiences.
Yes, I have. Okay, let's say my first experience when I wanted to employ a maid was when I was pregnant with my first child, and I called somebody to help me get a maid from the north. The person was able to get someone from the north. The person was an outside. I don't know. I'm not sure, but from the north, just to be precise. And when I got the person, it was my first time. I didn't like the idea of agents because some of them exploit these girls, yes. They collect their money and all that. So I talked to her on a human level. I didn't treat her like she was a property I just acquired. Some people do that. They just automatically, you're sleeping on the floor.
Yes, you sleep on the floor.
No, so I tried to get to know her a little bit, found out about her mom. I spoke with her mom. I tried to know what kind of environment, because they are bringing in somebody into your home, to have access to your children. These are your precious children. So you need to find out a little bit, even if they don't open up, and some of them they tell lies. So your interview is not going to be on the first encounter. You keep trying to find out more about them.
Don't apply too much pressure. Of
course.
Like you want to know everything within a week.
So like you're just having a normal conversation. So from there you let them let their guards down. So gradually you learn, okay, is this your first time doing this work? Who was your former madam? Why did you leave your former madam? So from there you can have a sense of how they are thinking, what kind of background they came from. I went as far as asking, are you a virgin? Some of them, they'll lie or become defensive but I was trying to find out, okay, has this person been abused sexually? What kind of environment did she grow up in? I was trying to find out those things. I found out about a former master or mistress, and I was wondering, why did you leave this particular person? So you need to have a sense of where they grew up with, because some of them have been physically abused, and a hurt person will hurt another person.
How can you really watch a maid? You leave the house, you go to the office, for some they don't come back until evening. How can you really deal?
Well, there has to be a certain amount of trust, but you would not trust them because they are strangers to you until they've proved you over time. And you can't learn about them until they've been with you for a long time. Unfortunately, most of these people, they don't stay that long for you to know them. So if you can afford a camera, I would say get a camera installed somewhere to at least know those things. Then always pay them surprise visits. If you tell them I'll be back by 6 p.m., you can come and check
in the afternoon
and know if they've locked your children and gone out to play. It's true, because you need to. In fact, my first maid was a very quiet person, but she had. From outside you think, oh, this is a very submissive girl. She's very quiet. She doesn't make some. But there are some little things that she does that makes me think otherwise. Okay, for instance, I don't really relate with people in the
neighbors
streets and all that. But one day I just saw my maid, laughing with organizers. On the people that I don't even talk to, them, like, okay.
The idea that we don't allow these maids go out. Let's talk about us now. Let's flip it to us, we employers of these domestic workers. You lock them in, like some are mature. So how do we expect them to express themselves? You don't want them to go out, you don't want them to visit, you don't want them to do. How will they also live their lives without sneaking out?
So this is why I said you need to get to know your helps on a human level. So the ones I've had encounter with, so I asked them, do you have a boyfriend back home? So the two I've had that lived in with me, they said yes. So I know their names. So I know some. In fact, one I had to caution one because it was always on the phone throughout the night doing midnight calls, speaking. I don't stop them from doing that, because after all, when they leave my place, they're going to live their lives. But then when you know them on the human level, you know their interests. So the first one wanted to continue her education, so she was opportune to go with me to school when I was doing my degrees and all that. So I was telling her there's more to you, that you can be in this school, you can come to this school. I was taking her lessons so that she would prepare for WAEC. I was trying to open up her mind to other things, that there is more to just leaving my place and going to get married and having children, because once you start on that path, don't let me say there's more to you than just that. So
with you being humane with them, trying to reach out to them, how did it end? Because both that you're talking about, did they live peacefully or how did it go?
So at the end of the day, you try your best and they'll still make their decision. Because okay, the first one I told her that after Christmas, she was preparing to go home for Christmas, that you can come back, I'll pay for your wife and do this. And she happened to come from a home where she was the only girl amidst boys, like 12 boys. They're interested in a dowry more than any other thing, more than an education. So I tried to talk to her, but there's a way they've been conditioned to just make the money and leave, go back home, then repeat another mistress, another, So having done all, she made the decision to leave.
There's also this idea that be stiff-handed with these workers so that they can know their place. People say, so you treat them well and they become entitled. Like they begin to tell you what to do, like, now them come be oga. So really, has it worked that this is your own plate, you don't touch any other thing in the house? If I don't ask you to eat, like, being high-handed, does it have its own advantage? Does it really keep them in their place?
Well, so because these people come from different, they've been working with different, some of them, they're not exactly virgins in that work. So they've done work with other people. So sometimes they have their own expectations too. Like they expect to have their own plates, they expect to have their own cutlery, they expect to be told what to do. Then there are some, so it depends on the individual. So I wouldn't say one size fits all, that, oh, you need to be high-handed with them or you need to be relaxed with them. I wouldn't say that. But so for me, what worked for me was that I had my expectations. I knew what I wanted this person to help me with. Okay, these are the things I expect to do every morning. Every morning you do this. So I already had in mind, it's not like I was scattered in my expectations for them. So they know that once they're up, the floors are expected to be clean, this, I handle my children. When I'm out, leave all the house chores, take care, watch the children because they're very young and they, you need, your eyes needs to be on them. So I had my expectations because I spoke with a lot of people that had experience. I also know some people that when they are employing a maid, that they don't employ underage. That's another.
Yes.
So they employ mature people, and when they are coming into their house, they already have uniforms for them. So it's not as if you are coming in, you're thinking, you're on the clock. So you're waking up 6 a.m. You're already in your uniform. They have a timetable on what to do. They clean the floors, they clean the stairs, they do all that. Before 7 a.m. they make the breakfast and all that. So she already, the person I know, has a standard for all our helps.
But did that work for her?
Yeah, it does. And she doesn't, there's no sentiment when she wants to send them away. Oh, she will give them like three chances. You've
done this once, you've done this second.
You did second, third. She doesn't waste time in changing. She already has agents at her beck and call. So this person is misbehaving, please, I need another person. This person will not suit my needs. I need another person. So
basically have an agreement with them, have a job description.
Yes,
that means you can't just even use them just anyhow. You too have to give them their respect.
And this is where I also have to button and say that I sometimes marvel at the way some people treat their mates, remembering that you called them in because you needed help, so you now expect them to take on 100% of what made you tired, and expect them not to rebel. So you have people that they do a lot of work.
You have to relieve them sometimes.
Exactly, they need to have their own time to just sit down and rest, or just do something that is your own, not my work. You call them in to relieve you of your help, and then you are dumping everything. You are dumping your children on them. You are dumping the house chores. They wash, they clean, they do everything.
Let's not even talk about people as we begin to round off who employ underage girls. Like I saw a lady working by herself doing slave mama, and the maid was a baby and bathed the baby, carried the baby bag, and I was. See, women, I need to talk to you. Be humane. Be human. You're human beings, and these people are people's children.
I see that too a lot, and I think it also has to do with your orientation. Because, for instance, I cannot employ an underage child.
No, it's wrong.
I know the volume of the work in my house, so it's.
Then you not expect
that'll be slavery for me to employ an underage. If I'm employing an underage child, it means I'll still have a help that comes and goes. Because I know an underage child cannot do that work and bless me in her heart. She would always cost me. Because the work is too much. I know what is I know what needs to be done in my home. So I know that it's not possible for me to have an underage child.
So the word for a woman out there as a round off.
Okay, so I'll say that get help if you need help. But also remember that these help are human beings so born. And we've seen videos of slavery and all that, and then we cry when we see people being maltreated and all that. But sometimes you don't know that we are the slave masters, the way we treat some of this help. So we need to remember that these are children. If they are given the choice, they won't do that work they're doing.
True.
So also remember that nobody knows tomorrow. So the way whatever you do now is a seed. It will definitely come back to you one way or another. So remember that when you are treating other people's children, the same way you screamed in the hospital to give birth to your own child, somebody screamed to give birth to those people. So remember that when you are treating them. So there are some that are bad already from wherever they're coming from. You can't handle them. Let them go. There's no need to start beating, or what you won't do to your own child. Don't do it to them, because they're somebody's child too.
So thank you so much for coming on the show today. I'm definitely still going to bring you back, because I know your real passion, Gogo, lies in child education. And thank you for staying the course of today's program with us. I look forward to another time with you. Please subscribe on this channel, click the notification button, and tell a friend who needs to hear this. Bye.
Cut.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. This is interesting.
Wumi Fagbeyiro, she is an educational consultant and the convener of Motivated Educationists Nigeria. Kini again. Why is it not sticky? Why are you run? Why are you run?
Reformed Educators Academy.
Reformed Educators Academy. Reformed Educators Academy.